Graduates, you may be seated. Good afternoon and welcome to the 2021 Sehome High School graduation. It is a joy to be able to celebrate in person the class of 2021. As we begin this ceremony, just a few reminders. Please take a moment to silence your cell phones. We also ask that you wear your mask for the entire ceremony and maintain social distancing as much as possible. Now would you please rise, remove your hats for the singing of our national anthem by Casey McAvoy. Sign language interpretation is provided by Kylie Thramer, Amelia Swedish, and Katerina Chulahas. Graduates, you do not need to remove your caps.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you so much, Casey, Kylie, Amelia, and Katerina. We would like to take a few moments to acknowledge the land we gather on today. This is the ancestral homeland of the Lummi Nation people, the survivors of the Great Flood, following the land of the last ice age, when ice melt flooded the region. The Lummi say, "This is our way of life in Lummi." To bid you each welcome as we each look for ways to connect our work as a people and as an educational institution to the heritage and history of this location. Our schools rest on the lands of the Lummi Nation and Nooksack. We say their names to acknowledge the sacred interwoven connections of the people, land, water, and air, the core of a community. We commit to the ongoing work of repairing relationships, collective healing, and storytelling to reconnect with our own ancestry. We acknowledge our responsibility in centering the stories of the indigenous lands where we live, learn, work, and play, in order to move our community towards change and reconciliation with gratitude and celebration for our graduates. I would like to welcome this year's ASB President, Warren Rose, to share a few words for the class of 2021.
Thank you. As I recall the 4 short years our class has spent together, I try to look for the foundation from which our culture has grown. and I come to realize the diverse set of experiences that mark each year we have spent at Sehome. I think to myself, are we from the old school, with its hallowed grounds and irreplaceable charm? This year gave us a glimpse into the generations of Sehome culture and tradition, which made us all part of something bigger. Are we from the year of transition, a time of radical change, stuck between old and new mindsets, where we said goodbye to a school that actively fell around us and hello to one still growing? Perhaps we are from our new school, a clean slate of possibility and opportunity as we all try to find our footing and lay the groundwork for a culture entirely new, one of our own design. Finally, I ask myself if we are from our year apart, plagued by uncertainty, isolated with technology, but united by the knowledge that we're all weathering this storm together. Looking back, each year of our education has been distinct, even groundbreaking, both physically as well as culturally. So when I look for what unites our class, I see a foundation built not by concrete, but by commonality. In our 4 years together as Mariners, it was our collective experience and embrace of change which fostered the diverse and wonderful community we know today, more so than any building ever could. We, the class of 2021, are a beautiful blend of tradition, upheaval, ingenuity, and perseverance that has come from growing together through the most pivotal years of both Sehome's history and our own lives. So now, as all of us Mariners sail forth to the uncertain seas of our future, we go prepared with the skills to adapt, to lead, and to embrace whatever changing seas we may face. Thank you for the opportunity to be your president this year. And now, it is my honor to introduce the student speaker selected by the class of 2021, Izzy Jones.
Good afternoon. I want to start by thanking my peers for nominating me to give this speech. I'm honored that you trust me enough to speak about our collective experience these past 4 years, and endlessly grateful that I've gotten to learn alongside you. I also want to thank the Sehome staff for being there to support myself and my classmates every step of the way, and of course, our families, because we wouldn't be here without your unconditional love and encouragement throughout our lives. Author and professor Nancy Summers writes, "Love, as well as writing, involves a radical loss of certainty." When I found out I was to be giving this speech, my first instinct was to go down a list of people I knew were strong speakers and ask them how I should go about writing this. That ended up making it a lot more difficult for me to come up with ideas. It wasn't until a few days ago that I revisited Summers' work and all my words for you came flying at my face. We, the Sehome class of 2021, are children of uncertainty. We've spent the last 4 years of our life with question marks and what ifs clouding our skies, and we've embraced every minute of it. From the question of when we will move into the new school, to the process of finding someone to fill Miss Cuss Sibula's shoes. We spent weeks uncertain of where our teachers' new classrooms were and whether or not they ended up constructing a pool on the new roof like there had been on the last one. But uncertainty took itself to a new extreme the spring of our junior year. March 2020 saw us desperately hopeful, clinging for any sign that school could be back, but it didn't take long for reality to set in. We navigated life as teenagers in isolation, each of us dealing with our own struggles. Some of us continue to maneuver through these struggles, searching for signs of hope, but despite the turbulence, many of us healed, grew, and truly got to know ourselves. We accomplished a lot in the midst of uncertainty. We didn't just survive our 4 years, we lived every moment. We persevered through the hard parts of high school. We gained a sense of integrity and ability to stand up for ourselves and our beliefs. We continued to make Sehome a more inclusive place and educated ourselves on how to be better humans. We treated each other and our staff with respect, and in turn earned their respect. We know uncertainty and we see the beauty in it. What would life be without its mysteries? There will always be spades of pain and an aching feeling when they won't go away. And the beauty of uncertainty is found in accepting this pain and aching as part of our lives, not trying to make it go away, because we know it will eventually. Even when things got dark, we held on to hope. And I'm proud to say we are standing here under this beautiful overcast sky at the end of the tunnel. The sky is blue and bright, or gray and cloudy, beckoning for us to take off into our futures, whatever they may be. But even more than that, we've learned how to fly into a sky that isn't so inviting. We take the storm clouds for what they are and embrace their presence on our journeys. Each and every one of you should be proud of yourselves for your accomplishments and for living and loving with uncertainty. I wouldn't have had these 4 years any other way, and I know many of you may disagree with that sentiment, considering how chaotic they were, but I'm filled with gratitude for them and for all of you, and so I want to leave you with a little song. There are places I remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some have gone and some remain. All these places had their moments with lovers and friends. I still can recall some are dead and some are living. In my life, I've loved them all, but of all these friends and lovers, there is no one compares with you, and these memories lose their meaning when I think of love as something new. Though I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you more. Thank you. Okay, so this has been a year unlike any other. Our classes have taken place from bedrooms, living rooms, cars, and finally the Sehome building. Students and staff had made adjustments and made things work at each turn. Our music programs are no exception. Today we will hear an excerpt from their time when they were finally back together. This is a pre-recording of the Sehome Chamber Choir's performance of Yesterday. Words and music by John Lennon and Paul McCartney, arranged by Mac Huff, as recorded by Boys to Men. The Sehome Choir is directed by Jessica Schlichting.
year, the senior class chooses a staff member to speak at graduation. This year's faculty speaker is a person who helps students both inside and outside of the classroom. She is innovative, creative, and loves to blow things up. Please join me in welcoming Sehome science teacher, Amy Hankinson.
This is terrifying. Oh, I got it, okay. Oh, you guys are the best. All right, welcome, class of 2021. Friends, families, colleagues, how nice it is to gather here today. I'm so very proud of you. I'm so very proud of myself, for all of us, for making it through this year. I realized recently that about half of you graduating today were in my chemistry class as sophomores. The last normal year. I miss the chaos that you were in my classroom, when classrooms could be chaotic. This year, I found myself feeling nostalgic for another time. I vaguely remember what it was like to see a concert in real-life person. I think fondly about eating normally, being able to go to a restaurant and eat inside, make pancakes and Anchor, or line up for my favorite lunch special, the chickpea spinach curry. I long for the days of taking hundreds of kids on the bus down to Seattle and setting them free to dominate Science Olympiad. And graduation, when the house was packed and everyone was invited, I would stand next to Mr. Tony and he would hug everyone, literally everyone. And then I awkwardly felt like I had to, even if I didn't really know them. Turns out being isolated and stuck at home gives one a lot of time to think. One thing that I've been thinking a lot about is how we as humans talk to each other. People have been disagreeing forever. I'm known to love a good discussion, and for much of my youth, I was encouraged to become a lawyer because I would never back down. My best friend in high school had completely different worldviews. We would argue incessantly about many things, but in the end, there was a recognized baseline of truth, and we respected each other. We all have different backgrounds and experiences that shape our worldview. That is not new, and that is a good thing. What has changed is that it seems more and more rare for people to actually listen to each other. I encourage you to seek out honest conversations with people that have different views than you do. Talk to them in real life, real person, look them in the eye, and think about what they say. Challenge yourself to view the world from their perspective. Have empathy, have patience, have respect, reference facts and truth. Some of you know that I have a particular prejudice that I struggle with. Biology. For years, I have been biased against biology. But since Mr. Tony retired last year, I realized it's actually not that bad. Maybe us physical scientists have been existing in a vortex dominated by math that kept us from really appreciating biologists or seeing their point of view. Is it possible that all these years I've been too hard on biology, saying it's not a real science? This last year, I took my own advice and actually talked to some biologists. I listened when they told me about infectious disease and vaccines, and I learned something. I realized I have more in common with biologists than I thought. Not only that, I have a lot more to learn from them. Biology says a diverse ecosystem is a strong ecosystem. A monoculture in a farm or a community is not as productive, not as secure, and most certainly not as interesting. A science department made up of just chemistry teachers just wouldn't be the same. And just imagine if the whole school were chemistry teachers. All of Bellingham, the US, the world, 7.5 billion chemistry teachers. Too much? You get the point, and it's a scary thought. So jokes aside, we scientifically depend on difference. We all play an important role going forward. Together we face many issues. I find strength in listening to people's stories. Recently, I listened to Doug Baldwin, Stanford grad and former Seattle Seahawks wide receiver, talk as part of Asian American and Pacific Islander Appreciation Month. He speaks about his Filipino grandmother and the various challenges and misunderstandings they have been through. But what really struck me, and not just because it references physics, is when he says, regardless of what your ethnicity is or your background is, your community is my community. And at the end of the day, we are all human beings on this planet, on this rock, floating through space, trying to survive. So, in closing, you are my community. I am inspired by you every day. You are why I teach. You give me hope for a stronger, more connected, more unified future. Thank you for that. Be well, friends. I miss you already.
Thank you, Ms. Hankinson. We will now hear from the Sehome Senior String Quartet with an excerpt from Beauty and the Beast. Words and music by Alan Menken, arranged by Calvin Custer. The Sehome Orchestra is directed by Kirsten Dowd. Class of 2021, graduates, parents, family members, staff, and district representatives. Today we come together to celebrate an incredible group of students. This senior class is made up of kind, thoughtful, inquisitive individuals who will most certainly go on to change our world. They have finished up their high school careers during a global pandemic and have learned to navigate school on Zoom, on Teams, in their bedrooms, in their cars, completing health attestations, wearing masks, and with 6-foot distancing. It starts to sound like a card game where you pull one challenge after another from a stack of cards. Good thing you're graduating before we draw the card that requires juggling a flamethrower while doing yoga. Watch out, juniors, who knows what next year will bring. Throughout it all, this group of students persevered and continued to show up for themselves, their classmates, their teams, and their families. Now they're getting ready to embark on their next adventure, sure to have continued challenges, but also great opportunities. One popular question that I'm sure many of you graduates are getting at this stage of your life is, so what's next? Raise your hand if you got this question today. In the last week? Yeah. How many of you in the audience remember this question being asked of you and causing huge emotions of excitement, fear, and wonder? This is a natural question to ask and receive as you wrap up your high school years. For the past 13 years, each year was planned out for you. You automatically moved from one grade to another, one school to the next. Today, all of that automaticity ends. You decide what your next steps are. You decide if you go to work, go to college, do an apprenticeship, travel, go to community transitions. The what of this time can overcome all of our thoughts and energies. It's natural. No matter what you are doing next year, I want to challenge you to spend more time thinking about how you want to do whatever it is you do next. No matter what you do after today, you will be an asset to our community and our world, not because of what you do, but how you do it. A few of the things I hope you take with you as you leave Sehome and make your mark on the world are from some of your teachers. The math department has taught us to take risks, work hard, make mistakes, try again. Surround yourself with people who are in your court, cheering you on and picking you up to try once again. By participating in and seeing drama performances, we have learned that there is power and strength in community. This year, we have felt acutely what it means to be isolated and quarantined, our community stripped away. We have just started to taste again the sweetness of doing life together. Carry this feeling with you. Lean into your community and look around for those who have not yet found community and go to them. Find joy in small, everyday things in life. Notice and appreciate the moss growing on the trees of Chuckanut Drive. Appreciate the smile that is now revealed after months behind a mask. As you've learned in nutrition and wellness, take a moment to enjoy each bite of food. Recognize the spices adding flavor to the dish. Stop and look around you and appreciate the people who bring spice to your life. Find your voice and share it with those around you like you have learned throughout your English classes. Appreciate the words and thoughts of others, even if, or maybe especially if, you don't agree with them. Listen to understand rather than to respond. To the class of 2021, thank you for all the ways you have shown up for one another and all those in attendance today. We are humbled by your accomplishments and waiting with bated breath to see not just what you will accomplish, but how you will do it. Today, it is my responsibility as principal of Sehome High School to certify to the Bellingham School Board and Dr. Baker that these Sehome High School students, the class of 2021, have met and in most cases far exceeded all of their requirements for graduation. Dr. Baker, with great pride, I present to you the Sehome graduating class of 2021.
Thank you very much, Ms. Cole, and good evening, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening. I want to thank our parents and guardians that are here today, and to our graduates, congratulations. Many of you I've known for a decade plus, and it's just a real honor to be here tonight and to see you graduate. You know, a year ago we had graduation, and it was a little bit different, and real different, and we weren't able to come in person. And I pulled out an old relic from last year's graduation in case anybody remembers it. Ms. Cole, do you remember? Yeah, you guys remember that? That's what we had last year. I mean, he's a pretty good looking guy, but it's kind of, anyways, that was last year. We weren't in person. And when our team came together over the course of this year, and especially maybe 3 months ago or so, we weren't sure if we were going to be able to be in person, that it might be last year with the cutout. And as guidance kept changing and as science kept changing, we became more hopeful. And a few months ago, our team brought together a group of seniors from across all 4 high schools, and we sat them down and said, okay, we're not quite sure what June's going to look like, but what's the most important thing to you if we can, for what graduation looks like? And the seniors, the top thing was please, if you can please just get us together in person, even if there's no parents, even if there's no teachers, just us, even if that was what we could do. And that's what our goal was to get our kids here live. And then a little bit longer, the guidance changed, and it's like, okay, we can actually have some parents and family members here, and we were able to have everybody have 2 tickets. And then just a few weeks ago, we were able to expand that. And so here we are today. All of our graduates, families, and friends, we're also live for folks that are across the world even watching. And we feel pretty fortunate that we were able to do that. And you see a lot of the folks with black shirts kind of hidden around here. I just want to say it took a lot of people to make today happen, a lot of staff, a lot of community members. I want to thank them for making today happen. The first time 4 high schools graduating in Bellingham live in person. So thank you to all the folks that helped. Finally, those of you that have been to graduations before, you know that one of our traditions is the superintendent goes in search of what I think is some of the smartest people in the entire school district. And those of you that have been to a graduation before, who are some of the smartest people in our school district? Kindergartners, that's right. We find that our kindergartners are some of the brightest, sharpest, just say it like it is people in the entire school district. So we go meet with them a couple weeks ago, and we said, kindergartners, we got a bunch of wonderful students graduating high school. What advice would you give them as they head off on their journey? So I'm going to share with you 5 pieces of advice from our very own kindergartners in Bellingham Public Schools. You ready? All right, number 5, working backwards, was learn how to be helpful and to be nice in college. Number 4, that snails have an air hole and snails have 1 foot like a big circle. Who would have guessed that one? Number 3, being kind to others. Number 2, play farm. And number 1 piece of advice from one of our brilliant kids here in Bellingham is if somebody's ever bullying them, they should stand up, not just ignore it. So graduates, on behalf of our kindergartners, our families, the entire school district, congratulations. You ready to get diplomas? All right, let's do it. Congratulations.
Dylan Rayhan Gladman. Joshua William McQuiston. Katerina Athena Chuluhas. Danivel Eliza Antonio. Kylie Lynn Thramer. Ruth Lewis. Megan Elise Morrison. Warren Rose. You can just start walking and then. Colton James Williams. Wilson Boudreau. Keller Redfern Morrison. Sophia Ingrid Nouveau. Casey Samuel McAvoy. Isabel Riley Jones. Casey Joe McDonald.
Shaylin Rose Smith. Alexa Garcia. Graham Stewart Glendinine. Liam Wesley Romanishin. Kaylin Lee. Grace Lorraine Huck. Natalie Ann Murphy. Hazel Ray Stoika. Rachel Grace Lemmer. Lucas Ryan Lane. Lauren Elizabeth Duet. Leah Borgeson. Mason Clearwater Russell. Elkin J. Duong. Ajax Allen Robinson.
Sky Yi Karen. Caitlin McKenna Bryce. Lily Grace Decker. Ashley Nava. Diana Para Rodriguez. Melissa Bazante. Ella Marie Grimm. James David Gill. Chloe Orion Trainer. Willow Serfina Corey DeBow. Ellie Osterloh. Celia Alexandra Coletti. Kiara Yvette Moreno. Marek Fitos Ling. Cale Edward Simpson.
Jarvin Roberto Castillo Jr. Felipe Areola Martinez. Timothy Michael Malo. Jacob Marvin Kaepernick. Elliot David Tanovan. Jake Robert Ortega. Ahmed Yimaj Wario. Abigail Starlight Munson. Gabrielle Johnson. Olivia Elizabeth Little. Marissa Kathleen Kirkland Douglas. Aspen Jaylene Garrison. Janae Yee Carr. Abigail Louise Batt. Natalie Shaoli Werner. Adrian Jeremiah Reed. Asa Wyatt Danforth.
Jacob Sharp. Summer Lopeman. Jacob Johnston. Gabriel Josue Coleman Padron. McKenna Constance Marie Delp. David Angel Guzman Lopez. Calvin Joseph Reinholtz. Delano Cow. Alec Wilhelm Emery. Dalton Everett Steele. Mercedes Tess Marheis. Edmund Patrick Sleeman. Jackson Day Kruzniak.
Matthew Bailey Holroyd. Colin Patrick McCarthy. Garrett Nelson. Jacob Allen Scott. Tyler Boda McGivern. William Rudolph Maris. Sumer Diol. Brooks Allen Frere. Ruth Lane Walter. Ruby Sky Winkelmatz. Claire Victoria King. Paloma Jane Herring Runka. Isla Lorena Miller Hall. Neha Onapurna Harley. Lilia Nicole Vivaldi.
Nala Basnagel. Adam Ryan Glassett. Christian Torger Olson. Alexander James Weller. Calypso Batiste. Cameron Maxwell Morrow. Emma May Powell. Olivia Catherine Richbaugh. Wyatt Stratton Ship. Kedrick John Cranack. Maxwell George Gargano. Jacob Patrick Gargano. Madison Rain Malloy. Miranda Clarice Gerke.
Ian Cooper Ayer. Jonathan Charles Ivy. Luke Christopher Quinn. Augeline Lawrence Dow. Alex James Hoeksprung. Jonathan Bradley Naiva. Alexander John Uvarov. Samuel Charles Clemenson. Sam Michael Jacobson. Tyson Cross Stark. Braden Blunden. Charlique Whisperay Lovell. Caitlin Velasco. Joshua Thomas Frazier. Ernesto Garcia. Colton Mockamer. Marlise McFarlane.
Sophia McMurray. Layla Hartwell. Kaylee J. Wilson. Olivia Elise Reynolds. Emma Grace Bridgeforth. Eliza Rose Perry. Jonas Wolfgang Ecker. Shahad Tokar Falata. McKinley Jennifer Baker. Kari Ann Thorderson. Tate Anderson Sterling. Madeline Ruth Gilbert. Haley Now. Luthien Faith Taminga.
Jude William Greening. Mackenzie Grace Dara. Ella Jane Franey. Isabel Marie Douglas. Noelle Starr Smith. Sasha Lynette. Yep. Abigail Dawn Roy. Emily Elizabeth Roy. Ana Danielle Delgado. Emma Jones. Michael Anthony Rosales. Tyler Lewis Steensland. Isaac James Van Epps. Shannon Terry Register.
Tristan Lucas Nienaber. Aiden Matthias Sokol. Jonah Quinn Herring. Kinsung Cheng. Rowan Munson. Livia Rain Cohen. Maya Alice Cornwall. Angela Way. Maxim Scofidio. Cole Douglas Hedge. Michael Wong Zeming Hagen. Camille Elizabeth Kendrick. Elizabeth Ann Stodela. Nathan Frederick Kuhn. Noah Patrick Collins.
Elvis Divine Meyer. Simon Michael Lange. Matthew Alex Harris. Jake Ace Wright. Colton Fellman. Isabella Victoria Teresa Williamson.
That's my daughter.
Eve Marie Grace Selvage McLemore. Maisie Grace Elliott. Grace Ellen Schubeck. Delaney Catherine Ann Deal. Kelly Savannah Mumford. Naomi Ione Wallen. Abigail Rose Lee. Vilma Osorio Perez.
Brianna Ruth Finley. Dylan Barnes. Isaac Landon Schillinger. Jordan Mackenzie Barone. Maximilian Neville Nelson. Caden Michael Miles Durkee Wilson. Cassidy Rose Carlton. Leona Meyer. Emily Winnie Ma. Jenny Chan. Avery Jane Fisher. Lowen Riley Hennock. Kayla Naomi Orloff. Grace Ann Hogness. Aaron Hunt. Gracia Anna Howell.
Jonquil Louise Lofelholtz. Ethan Ryan Vanderhorst. Peter M. Asfor. Haley Jade Henderson. Ria Randava. Isabel Marie Carpenter. Catherine Ann Clary. Noel Alexander Eroldi.
Parker Jonathan Cyree. Isaiah John Hale.
Cameron Burton. Zane Michael Parsons. Liam Robert Mitchell. Jacob Joseph Hoppus. Akasha Marie Ostos.
Max Moore. Aiken Longfellow Newman. Samuel Timothy Grubb. Kenneth Carl Carlson. John David Kerstetter. Garrett Capristo. Colin John Dorsch. Micah Joseph Dayheim. Elijah Alexander Ashman. Quentin Dell Simmons. Caden Aaron Burke.
Mikhail Kieran June. Silas O'Connell. Emma Ann Barrett. Autumn Lisa Lewis. Amaya Jade Serdal. McKenna Faith Miller. Haruka Megita. Kate Audrey Snodgrass. Kiana Marie Brown Johnson. Rose Charlotte Wakeland. James Bauer. Lillian Girl Garcia. Declan Patrick Keenan. Ali Togani. Owen Ludvigsen. And last but not least, Samantha Jade Dauber.
We also want to recognize 2 students who are not able to participate in person. Congratulations to Julian Dixie and Serena Tyron.
All right, congratulations, class of 2021. We are so proud of each one of you. All right, I'd like to take a moment to thank Bethany Barrett, Mike Kudo, and Kim Kirk for their work and leadership over this past year. Their sense of humor and can-do attitudes have made our success possible this year. I would also like to thank our Sehome staff, whose innovation and flexibility over the past 15 months has been incredible to watch. I mean, this whole time, you guys. Yeah. We all knew it was coming. That was the moment. All right. Thank you to each of our graduates and families for supporting each other, for your patience, grace, and perseverance amidst adversity this year. I'd like to thank the staff who planned and executed the commencement ceremony today. Thank you to our Sehome team, district personnel, Veritas Media Productions for live streaming, and the many elementary and middle school teachers who have played a pivotal role in these students' lives and development. Parents and community members who have supported these students to make this moment today possible. It truly takes a community. And now, please rise and join us in singing one last time with the class of 2021, the Sehome Fight Song. If you need a reminder, the words can be found in the program. 2024, Ruth Lewis, Keller Morrison, Megan Morrison, and Sophia Naveau, our ASB class representatives, will lead our class in the turning of the tassel.
It is time to move our tassels from the right side to the left side to signify our graduation. If you ever forget which side our tassel goes on, remember that we wear on the left side over our heart to remind us that we are a Sehome Mariner. Congratulations, class of 2021.
Congratulations, class of 2021, you did it. Parents and families, please remain in the stands until our graduates have exited to the buses. They can be met at Sehome or at your graduation celebrations. Graduates, Ms. Kirk and Ms. Lever will dismiss your rows to head to the buses. Please rise. You may now exit to your buses and to your next adventures. We wish you all the best.
Julian Dixie. Serena Tyron.